Welcome back to the Wilmot Recreation Complex. Today we are showing you our new screening tool that allows for an easier access to enter into our buildings. When you come into the Wilmot Recreation Complex, you will see either a portable tablet or a tablet on a stand. We are going to show you today how to go through the questions on here and what it's asking, as well as teaching you how to do it from home. So if you're coming into the building and using this kiosk, first things first, if you are under the age of 16, you must bring your parent into the building as they are required to screen you. So what's happening here is it's preloaded on both of our devices and it's asking for the name of the person being screened. So for the purpose of today, we are going to screen myself, Lacey Smith. We're just going to write in that this is a test. It's going to ask me if we are screening for a child under the age of 16. If I click yes, it will generate some information that a parent or guardian's name needs to go in and a phone number. If we click no, that information is not there. It then asks for our phone number. And we can move on. Now, there are more questions than what you have been asked. The first is, are you sick with a cold, flu, or are you displaying any signs of COVID-19 and or flu-like symptoms? 2, do you have any of the following symptoms which are new or worsened if associated with allergies, chronic or pre-existing conditions such as fever, cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, sore throat, and or runny nose? 3, have you returned from outside of the country, including Canada or the US, in the last 14 days? 4, in the past 14 days at work or elsewhere, do you have any close contact with someone who has had a probable or confirmed case of COVID-19? In the past 14 days at work or elsewhere, did you have any close contact with a person who had an acute respiratory illness that started within 14 days of their close contact to someone with a probable or confirmed case of COVID-19? 6, in the past 14 days at work or elsewhere, did you have any close contact with a person who had an acute respiratory illness who returned from travel outside of the country in the past 14 days before they became sick? And 7, in the past 14 days, have you been directed by public health to self-isolate? You will then check at the bottom, yes or no, for all questions. We're going to click no and click the blue submit button. When that happens, we get a new page generated up here that will ask you if you'd like a copy of a response sent by email or not. If you are screening at the Wilmot Recreation Complex, you do not require that copy as you're screening in front of us. We know that this is happening. So we're going to click no and the blue continue. At this point, you are going to see a couple of things. One is a giant green check mark. That lets our screeners know that you can come in rather. It's going to tell us our name and that you answered no. You are then going to hit submit, and you have been officially screened into our building. It tells us that your answers have been successfully submitted. At this point in time, you can move on and head into the complex for your program.
Welcome to the Wilmot Recreation Complex homepage. So for any of our users from the Wilmot Recreation Complex, if you are coming for a program that is run by the township, you are needing to fill out a COVID screening form either prior to coming, or you can do it at the door with one of our tablets. If you are choosing to do it online at home from a computer, you first need to go to www.wilmot.ca. You will notice that we have a red status alert that pops up. We're just going to go ahead and click the X and get that out of the way. Scrolling down on the main page, we have right at the bottom here, COVID self-screening. We're going to go ahead and click on this. It will generate you to a new page and a form. It will also re-pop up that red status alert, so again, we are going to have to close it. We are going to get started off with the name of our person being screened, which for today is myself, Lacey Smith. I'm going to write test as this is a live site now, so it's letting my colleagues know, but you will just put your names in there. If you are screening for yourself, you are going to click no, as you are not screening for a child under the age of 16. If, however, you are screening for a child under the age of 16, such as our ACEs, you will click yes and then type in the parent's name. So we're going to go back and say no. We're going to go ahead and click on our phone number. And then we are going ahead and reading the following questions. So there are 7 of them. First, are you sick with a cold, flu, or are you displaying any signs of COVID-19 and or flu-like symptoms? 2, do you have any of the following symptoms which are new or worsened if associated with allergies, chronic or pre-existing conditions, fever, cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, sore throat, and or runny nose? 3, have you traveled outside from Canada, outside of the country, including Canada or the US, in the last 14 days? 4, in the past 14 days at work or elsewhere, do you have any close contact with someone who has a probable or confirmed case of COVID-19? 5, in the past 14 days at work or elsewhere, did you have close contact with a person who had acute respiratory illness that started within 14 days of their close contact to someone with a probable or confirmed case of COVID-19? 6, in the past 14 days at work or elsewhere, did you have close contact with a person who had acute respiratory illness who returned from travel outside of the country in the last 14 days before they became sick? Or 7, in the past 14 days, have you been directed by public health to self-isolate? You will notice that we only ask you to say yes or no at the bottom. So if you have answered no to all 7 questions, that's where we would click it. If you answer yes to any of the above 7 questions, you will submit yes. We're then going to head over to the bottom right of our screen and hit the blue submit button. This now generates a new page to you asking if you'd like a copy of the response sent to you by email. If you are completing this from home, we would encourage you to say yes, you would like a copy of this, and continue to type in your email. The reason for that is once we hit continue and see the next page, we are seeing a green check mark, we are seeing the name of the person, and we are seeing the date on which this was completed. So with this being said, this page with the green check mark can be printed, or you can print or screenshot the email and show us at the Wilmot Recreation Complex as you come. Please note that a screening sheet needs to be completed for each individual attending a program. So if yourself and someone else from your household are coming together for a program, each individual needs their own screening sheet completed. Unfortunately, myself, Lacey Smith, and John Smith within my household cannot be on one. It must be 2. If there is anything that is incorrect once you get to the Wilmot Recreation Complex, you will simply be rescreened by one of our screeners at the door. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and we hope to see you soon.